Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got another little hover effect for you today. It's a little circle with a nice little title in the middle of it. When you hover over it, it's got a multicolored hover effect there, and we've also turned it into a link so you can click on it and send your visitors wherever you want to send them. Really easy to do. We're doing a bit of coding for this today, but don't let that put you off. Any code that I write I'll put down below, and we're actually getting this code from CodePen today, and it's been submitted by Bradley Budak. Thank you for that. So let's get started. Really easy to do. First thing I'm going to do is enable my Visual Builder. Okay, once enabled, let's go down to where we want to go, and I'm simply going to delete this module that I've got here. So I've got a row here, it's got 2 columns in it. I'm going to add a module. I'm going to use a code module today, right there. Divi comes as standard with all these modules, plenty enough to build any sort of site. If you're using WooCommerce to sell products, it'll give you an extra dozen or so to display your products. But I'm going to use the code module right here today. Okay, and the code today has been supplied by Bradley Budak. And it's pretty easy. We've got some HTML, some CSS here, and we're on CodePen, and I'll put this link below the video. And if we look at this HTML here on the left, we've got a div at the top with our circles in it, and underneath we've got a div called MB, which is an advert for Bradley up there. So we don't need this bottom part, just the top part. So I'm going to copy that, Control C. Let's go back to our site. And I'm going to paste the code in right here. Okay, and as you can see, or as you can't see, not much to see, nothing's turned up because we really haven't got anything there. It's just a bunch of circles with no colors or everything. So we've got to add the style part to make it actually happen. So let's go down a couple of lines, and I'm going to open some style tags. Now a style tag is a left pointy bracket, the word style, and a right pointy bracket. Once you put the right pointy bracket in, it'll put a closing tag in there for you. And every opening tag with HTML needs to have a closing tag, and the only difference between the two is the closing tag has got a / before the text in there. Okay, so we've got our style tags. In between is where we can put our CSS. So let's go back to CodePen and we can grab our CSS. Now let's take a look at this because we're not going to need all of it. If you want to use the actual font they've used there, you can import the URL right there. You can add that bit. I'm going to leave that alone. We don't need the body part because we've got our own part. Let's look down. There's quite a lot of it here. There's our circles. Anything with MB was the advert for Bradley there. We don't need any of that. So let's take that. There's another MB and another one right at the bottom there. So we don't need any of that. So from there upwards, we'll take it up to just below body there. So we've got from the hashtag circle counter, and we're going all the way down to the closing curly bracket just after CC hover 5 right there. And we've included that bracket. Make sure you include that bracket. I'm going to copy back to the site. Now we can paste that in. Now when I paste it in, you should see it appear straight away. Okay, great. Well, we've got a bit of a problem here. Let's see what it is. Circle container. Let's look up at our HTML. The actual circle is in a container here. So I don't want any of that. So we can get rid of the circle container. We don't want the background color or the actual size of it. So I'm going to select that from the hashtag to the closing curly bracket and get rid of it. There we go. And we're left with it sitting in our own container. And as you can see, when you hover over, it's got that nice effect, which is great. But of course you're going to want to put your own text in there. And to do that, the actual text here is in the CSS. So it's in our style section down here. If we just look down below, it's in number 1 circle before, and it's hover me. So just put your new text in here. whatever you want it to say. And there you go. Okay, and to change any colors, each of these circles has got a color. There's circle number 1. Here's the color. You can just click in there, change it to the color you want. Same with 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just click on the little color there and you can change it to what you want and play around with it. So we should be good to go there. Now, that's a nice little graphical feature, but it'd be nice if it actually did something. I mean, these hover effects are great when people are mousing around your site and something happens. It's going to get their attention. But to make them actually interact with it, we ought to turn it into a link or something that takes them somewhere. Now to do that, we can add a bit of HTML, and this is really easy, don't let it put you off. We're just going to wrap this whole circle container div, which is the div that the circle's in there, in an anchor tag. Now I'll zoom in while I'm doing this when I process this video in a minute, so you can see what's going on. And a link is what they call an anchor tag. So it's a left pointy bracket, an A, which is the anchor tag itself. Then you've got to tell it where you want the anchor tag to go, which is an href or a hyperlink. Href equals, and then open some close some inverted commas, and inside there you can put the link where you want it to go. You know, the website or the page you want it to go to. Just put that in there. I'm going to put a hashtag instead of a URL, as I don't have a real link. Then again, we need to close it. So just after that second inverted comma there, we need to put a right hand pointy bracket. And as soon as you do that, it's going to put a closing anchor tag in there, which is the /A right there. We need to cut that out of there, Control X to cut it, and put it at the end of our little div here. So in other words, we're wrapping our whole div in this anchor tag. And anything you wrap in an anchor tag, so the anchor tag starts here and it closes here. Anything you wrap in an anchor tag, anywhere that they click within here will become active. So now you can see as I put my mouse over there, it's turned into the little hand icon indicating we can click on it and take people somewhere. So that's how to add a link to it. Just put your URL in there. If you're linking to somebody else's site and you want it open in a new tab, you can simply add the line of target equals, again, open and close some inverted commas, and inside you want to put underscore and the word blank. And then when you go to your target, when they click on it, it'll open in a new tab. So there you go. If we've done everything right, this should now work for us. Let's save our changes here. Save our page changes down the bottom. And let's exit the Visual Builder. There's our little circle. If we mouse over it, our little colors pop in. Little hand icon appears. If I click on it, it's probably going to arrow out, but it should open in a new tab with a 404. There we go, because we put the target blank in there. Oh, it did actually work. It's just taking us back to the top of the page. So if we go back to the original, hover, click, there we go. So there you go, guys. That's how to actually do a little circle hover effect with a link. Nice little feature to have on your site. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our other hover videos for some great effects. We do some with coding and some without. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.